Karl, what happened to the dates on these eggs?
Dates? This recipe calls for dates? That sounds really good. I love dates.
No, I mean the dates that you were supposed to put on these egg cartons.
Was I? Why on earth would I want to do that?
So I'd know which one seals first.
Steve,
What?
are you sure this recipe doesn't call for dates? Because I really, really love dates.
Yum, 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 yum.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of One Chef One Critic. I'm Karl Wells, food critic for The Telegram.
And I'm Chef Steve Watson of Central Dairies.
Well, Steve, I will admit, I forgot to put the purchase dates on the egg cartons, but there are other ways of telling the freshness of an egg.
Indeed there are, Karl. And what we have here is a nice egg, and what you see here in the dome part of it, there's an air pocket in there. And if the eggs are really fresh, when you lay them down there, they will just lay nice and flat like so. Now, as the egg ages, that egg will contract and that air bubble will get bigger, then they'll start to come up like this, and then of course, when they're really old, there'll be a big air pocket in there, and they'll float around on the top, and that's when you toss them out the window.
Floaters are baddies.
Floaters are baddies, exactly.
Here's another tip for you. You know what? If you have a fresh egg and you intend to boil it, hard boil it, the best thing to do is wait a week and then boil it because it peels much, much faster.
Exactly.
Little tip from me. Anyway, folks, we have a great guest coming up on the program today. His name is Chad Stride, and he's one of the most prolific musical people in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. He's a music educator, he's an adjudicator, and he's the founder and director of the award-winning chamber choir, Cantus Vocum. And we're going to be preparing for Chad today something that I absolutely love.
Indeed we are, Karl. What we're going to be making is a nice fresh meatloaf with ground beef and eggs, of course. And we also have an exciting guest. We have Sharon Stamp from Coffee Matters, and she's going to be making us a really nice dessert called the Three Amigos.
Oh, this sounds so good. I can't wait to get started. For a complete listing of One Chef One Critic recipes, wine lists, and more, check out our website. Let us know what you think of the show at 757-9600 or send us an email at onechef.onecritic@rci.rogers.com. Well, we have one of my dearest friends on the program today, and Chad Stride is also one of the province's most prolific music educators. As I said at the top of the show, he is the founder and director of the chamber choir Cantus Vocum, and I know the choir very well as well because every year we do a big concert together. I don't sing, by the way. Nobody would pay for that. The choir sings, Chad directs, and I read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and it's lovely to have you on the program today.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, I also know, and I told Steve this earlier, that
Indeed you did.
you don't know how to boil an egg.
No, this is a strange room to me. This is all.
So you do eat, though, a little bit. Not a lot. But I thought, this is a perfect occasion to give you a little cooking lesson.
Oh.
Yeah, well, don't
I
get
wasn't
too panicked
aware.
now. No, we're very good teachers on this program. So what are we going to have Chad help us cook today?
Okay, well, what we're going to do, Chad, we're going to be making a nice homemade meatloaf. But first of all, we're going to get your hands into the meat, and we're going to give you all the binding. So I'm going to give you these blue gloves to wear. So
Me?
yes, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. So
Okay.
put them on,
Put them on.
and
Well,
away
there
we
you
go.
go.
We have to make sure, everything is nice and
Well,
sanitary.
Yes, there you go. Yeah,
There's
there you go.
surgery.
That's
So
right.
what I'm going to do, we've got our fresh ground beef in there, Chad. I'm going to put some olives into there. We're going to put a little bit of ketchup into there as well.
It's like CSI.
There you go. That's right. We'll also put some barbecue sauce in there as well. We're going to be putting a little bit of English dried mustard in there to give it a little bit of spice. And maybe we'll put a couple of eggs in there. We're going to talk
idea.
about eggs today, so a couple of brown eggs.
This is a gourmet meatloaf.
There you go.
This is
That's
a gourmet meatloaf.
So now let's get our hands in there.
It's not a regular garden variety meatloaf.
No,
Go
no.
right ahead.
Go ahead.
And while we're doing that, Karl,
Attack the meat.
This is why I don't cook.
I will also chop some finely chopped shallots to
yes.
go in there.
Lovely.
Now I'm going to
gonna
do
be
something
so
over here.
good.
Yes, Karl, if you could
Got
put the
some,
potatoes
oil.
there, and we'll also put in the green beans, and
Yep.
we're also making a nice Madagascar red wine peppercorn sauce as well. So.
Exactly.
How we doing there, Chad? Good?
Oh, well, yes, maybe
Yeah.
I should switch with Karl and just put the butter in a pan. He seems to be getting off pretty good.
Yeah.
There we go. If you just wait 1 second there, I'm going to pop the shallots in there. And I'm doing them really fine. I'm doing them nice and coarse. And we're also going to be putting a little bit of crushed garlic in there as well. There we go. One. Then we'll put another one in also as well. So now you can smell all them aromas coming
that,
through.
That actually does smell wonderful.
It does, doesn't it, Karl? That was
So
very
we've
good.
got various colors of beans here. Oh, we've got red pepper as
red
well.
peppers in there as well.
We've got
so.
the green beans and the yellow beans. I'm going to just put them all in, and we're going to saute those in
a little bit of butter.
some butter.
And okay, Chad, with that, and see it's really moist. I'm going to put some breadcrumbs in there as well. That will firm it up a little bit. So, and that's good.
Chad, you spent a lot of your time when you were growing up in Grand Bank, did you not?
Well, my parents are clergy before they retired.
Yeah.
And so we spent, time in various communities and places every few years. But before graduating high school, that's where we had lived for 5 years.
Yep. What was that experience like?
It's very different in that, unfortunately at the time, for school, musically, there wasn't much happening, and there wasn't a music teacher in the school, nothing like that whatsoever. But through the church involvement, with
Right.
very little experience, it meant that at a very young age, I was thrown into responsibilities that normally wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
Playing for
that's
the
right.
senior choir of the church at 12 years old and 13 years
Wow.
old, and these sorts of things. So there were experiences that sort of forced you to be better than
so
perhaps you normally would have been.
What age were you when you started taking piano lessons?
That I guess I was I would have been going into grade 8, which is late, really.
That is late,
It's very
yeah.
late. Now I'd had music background and played the trumpet in school band and things like that. But oh my! Now look at this.
I can take
Surgery is over.
Surgery is over, absolutely.
Actually, there's a garbage that you put right in the
Right
garbage there. Okay, they're gone.
Don't forget
Nasty
the potatoes,
things.
Karl.
Oh yes, we've got some beautiful. They look like hockey pucks.
There you go. There you go.
They won't taste like it, but there we go. Oh, look at that. What do you call these, Steve?
Well, they're just potatoes. What I had some mashed potatoes left over from yesterday, and I rolled them in a little bit of saran wrap, got them nice and firm like that.
Yeah.
Put them, and we're just going to fry them up.
They're so uniform. Yeah.
Perfect.
I
And-
saw. Go ahead.
So what I'm going to do now, I've got some cling film there. I'm just going to put the meatloaf into that, and then we'll wrap it in foil, and then that'll be ready for the oven. We're just going to make a big sausage wrapped in there. You see, so you're not touching that with your hands, just like so.
Okay.
So we're just wrapping it like this, and then we're going to put some foil around that, and then that will go into the oven.
And
Just
it's
roast it.
okay. It's okay to have the plastic on.
Absolutely,
Like that?
that's just going to shrink it right down, actually, or it won't burn or anything like that.
I
So.
see. Isn't that interesting? Because normally when I make meatloaf, I just get a loaf pan and I push the meat.
We beat down into it. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
So then we go like so, and away we wrap it up.
Chad, I know you teach a lot of young people how to play piano, and you do voice lessons as well. What's a good age to have your youngster take piano? The
depends.
optimal.
I wouldn't leave it really beyond grade 3. And for many children, there are various group lesson things around, whether it be music for young children, and there's various kinder start programs and things like that, where preschool and into kindergarten and grade 1, they get some general music knowledge. But for a kindergarten age, unless they're showing exceptional abilities, it's hard for a 5-year-old to just sit on a piano bench for half an hour and have one-on-one time.
Yeah.
So,
And you teach adults as well.
quite a number.
So
Quite a number.
is that difficult? I mean, because I
Yeah.
would think, for example, somebody my age, I don't know whether I could even learn how to play the piano. I'm lucky if I remember my name.
And you know what the problem is? Adults, it's more difficult only because adults don't have the same patience.
Right.
A child will sit with a Game Boy or a game, and they will play that game over and over and over till they perfect
And
it.
they'll figure it out.
And the repetition doesn't seem to bother them.
Yeah.
But for an adult, if we don't get it on the third or fourth try,
Forget it.
there's something wrong with us. And it's the disconnect between thinking it's only an intellectual effort. You know, it's the mind, but it's also the fingers.
Yeah.
So you're training motor memory.
Exactly.
Is what takes most
Yeah.
time at the piano.
Yeah.
It's not for your brain's sake.
That's right.
It's for your motor memory's sake. And so you have to play over and over. And so adults think, well, I'll never get this.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about the choir. You do a couple of concerts every year, just so you know we can maybe sell a few tickets for you.
Yeah.
When do you do these concerts?
The main, our two big shows that we've been sort of very traditional and faithful to year after year has been the Remembrance Day concert,
Yeah.
the November the 11th show, and it's always on Remembrance Day. And then, of course, the weekend before Christmas is always the Christmas show.
Right.
With you reading
Yeah.
the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
So that's the other big show. And this year, of course, we also have a new CD coming out.
Oh, tell me about the CD.
So this one is not a theme of any particular type. It's just a lot of sort of different styles of music, a couple of different time periods, and we have there's a few Newfoundland things there.
Okay.
There's some
Yeah.
Canadian things, and then there's some popular things like I'll Ask of You from Phantom of the Opera and Josh Groban's Lullaby, and so there's a mixture of.
Yeah, I was going to say,
familiar.
that, yeah, I think most people when they hear just the name of the choir,
Right.
Cantus Vocum, they automatically
Yeah.
think, oh, that's classical.
Right.
And for sure, I mean, you do have a classical repertoire,
Yeah.
but you also do, the more popular type songs as well.
Yeah, it would narrow the audience too much. You know,
Yeah.
within the classical realm anyway, there's some people just like the symphony, and some people just like piano music, and some people just like choir music, and
that's right.
so you
Yeah.
have a very small
Yeah.
percentage of the population.
Yeah.
So it's a way to increase sort of the sound base.
Exactly. Now, I know that you have toured the choir. Steve, look, I think the nice crusty golden bit just came
If you
off.
just leave them, Karl, I think I'll finish them off in a minute because I don't want you to ruin my presentation.
Are you criticizing my...
Did you put the green peppercorns into our Madagascar peppercorns?
I didn't know anything about your Madagascar.
Here you are chatting away and we are cooking.
What is this?
This is a green peppercorns from Madagascar. You put a little bit of juice in there as well. That's going to really...
He's
there we
distracted, you see, because I'm not supposed to be in the kitchen. So this is
Here we are giving you a teaching lesson. And it's going all over the
this just doesn't work.
I
you
beg
see.
your pardon. I'm the critic.
Yes, I know,
Here you are.
I know.
You're
And you're
criticizing
ruining my food.
my potato pancake frying technique. I'm out of here. I'm going down to get some wine and see somebody who really appreciates me. I'll be back.
See, he did the potatoes there, and they're so. And he put these beautiful beans on there. He didn't even
Right.
season. We've got this beautiful new machine.
You're not going to raise them. You're not going
No,
to raise them.
no, a little bit of salt
No.
on there. No.
Oh, the work ahead of you, the work ahead of you.
I know. And he tries to.
Hey, there she is, the beverage baroness. Tracy, how you doing?
I'm great, Karl. How are you?
I'm lovely.
Excellent.
Well, you know what? We've got Chad Stride upstairs today, and he's not a cook, but we somehow managed to actually produce a meatloaf with his help.
Sounds interesting.
Yes, it was interesting. But this is what I call gourmet meatloaf because it's got all kinds of wonderful things in it, herbs and so forth. What would be your recommendation regarding
Okay.
wines to go with this meatloaf?
Okay, for that interesting blend of
Yeah.
stuff in the meatloaf, I have wines that are actually all blends as well. We have the Mission Hill from Canada, we have the Clancy's Red from Australia, and we have the Clos de los Siete from Argentina. So this is a BC wine, and it's a Cabernet Merlot blend. Beautiful wine.
Delighted you got a BC wine here because I was out in BC last year and I tasted some absolutely magnificent wines. Unfortunately, we don't get them here, which is a pity, but boy, that's the best kept secret in Canada,
Yeah.
BC wines. They're really, really good. I'm
Yeah.
delighted you got that
Oh
one
yeah,
here.
and it's a great price, $18.99
Yeah.
as well.
Okay.
And then from the Barossa Valley in Australia, from Peter Lehman Winery, we have the Clancy's Red, which is a blend of Shiraz, Cabernet, and Merlot grapes. Another nice blended wine that will go great with the
Okay,
meatloaf.
I've had that one. As a matter of fact, I had that the other night.
Oh, excellent. And the last one I have is the Clos de los Siete from Argentina.
lovely.
And this is a blend as well. It's a Malbec blend, but it has some Cabernet, Merlot, some Petit Syrah in it as well. And this is retail for $29.95.
Okay, yeah, so they're all not bad prices. Just run through the price points again.
Sure. So with the Mission Hill, it's
Yeah.
$18.99.
Wow.
The Peter Lehman Clancy's Red is $19.98. And this is $29.95, the Close to L'Ociete.
You know, I've always gotten the impression, or had the impression that, BC wines were a little bit more expensive, but that's a really good price.
Yeah, it's a great price.
Yeah, okay.
Mission Hill is a prominent winery out in BC, very well known.
They're all good choices.
Yeah.
So, hey, which one do you think I should pick?
I think you should definitely go with the Peter Lehman, the Clancy's Red. I think that this blend will go great with the
That's
meatloaf.
what we'll do.
Okay, great.
Thanks so much,
Enjoy.
Tracey. Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Now we pop this into the oven for an hour and a half at 350 degrees, and then we turn the oven off and we allowed it to rest for about 15 to 20 minutes. And now we'll just lay the meatloaf to the side there like so, nice and moist. We're going to put a little bit of our green Madagascar peppercorn sauce on there with some red wine, and a little bit of garnish on there like so, and these beautiful crispy mashed potatoes fried, and our green beans, and I think we should go to the table.
This smells very, very good. Steve, I was just saying to Chad, this smells really, really good.
Perfect.
And I see you've re-established the nice golden crust on the...
certainly did, Karl.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Saved.
I must do better the next time. Okay, let's have a little taste and see what we think of Steve's masterpiece. Well, actually, Chad, you had a hand. Well, you literally had your hands in it.
Yeah. I wouldn't spread that around, though.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't want to be caught in the kitchen again.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's delicious. Oh boy, this is even better than mine. And it pains me to say that, but you've done an absolutely wonderful job.
Why, thank you,
Congratulations.
Yes, perfect.
We have a wine to go with this, Chad. It's from Australia, and it's a blend of Cabernet, Shiraz, and Merlot. It's from Peter Lehman, and it's called Clancy's Red.
Lovely.
So just have a little sniff. And, oh, that's a nice bouquet.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Very much
that's going to
so.
go well with
Yeah.
this. But I just want to ask you something else. You've done a lot of traveling with Candace Folkham. You've been through Europe, many countries actually, and of all of the countries you've visited, which has been the most impressive, or where did you feel that the choir just fit in beautifully and the audience was responsive? Is there one?
Yeah, there's sometimes that moment with performances and concerts where you feel, sometimes people will say the room feels electric,
That's right, exactly.
I think it was our very first tour we ever did, and we were in Bruges, Belgium, and that was absolutely remarkable. Yeah, in terms of performance. Now there are other cities, the choir has done 9 different countries, so there are many perks with many different places, but in terms of the actual performance itself, I would think that night in Bruges.
Now, what's the motivation to going to a particular country? Is it because there's a music competition or something happening there, or how do you pick where you go?
Or the performance opportunities.
Right.
So that really
And
determines.
if you think, these people will appreciate this style of music, I guess. Is a factor.
And now we try to find, some unique places, and perhaps somewhere where the chorister may not use that as their travel destination. The last tour was Finland, Estonia, and the Czech Republic. So, they may not plan to do that at the top of your own vacation hit list, but it's good to see it.
Any place you haven't been where you'd like to take the choir?
I'd like us to try something like the United Arab Emirates.
That would be interesting. Yeah. Hot.
That's good. That's good.
Anyway,
Living here, that's good.
Here's to you and Candace Folkham and
Thank
all the
you.
work that you do. Congratulations. Good luck in the future.
Thank you for my lesson.
Coming up next on One Chef, One Critic, we'll be visiting with Sharon Stamp. She does all the wonderful pastries at Coffee Matters, and she's going to be making a beautiful dessert for us. Stick around. Matters on Military Road is one of the busiest venues in the city for Java junkies. A lot of people go there to get their Java fix, but while they're there, it's pretty darn hard to resist those beautiful pastries you see in that cooler. So most people, before they leave, usually end up having a cookie or a muffin or some other delectable sweet item. And the sweet person who's responsible for all of these is Sharon Stamp. She is of Sharon's Sweets, and she provides Coffee Matters with all of those wonderful things. Welcome to the show, Sharon.
Thank you for
nice
having
to see you.
You too.
Sharon, this looks all very exciting, and chocolate is one of my favourite things. So what are we going to be preparing today?
We're going to be preparing 3 Amigos. It's 3 layers of delicious chocolate. We have a dark chocolate, a milk chocolate, and a white chocolate.
So are these the actual chocolate blocks, or what?
They're little pistils. They come from France, but we order them from Dolphin Village up in New Brunswick.
I see.
And
Yeah.
again, brought down. They're a great chocolate.
But it's French
Wow.
good chocolate, absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so this is the actual raw product you're working with.
Definitely.
So what do we do now then?
So basically, you just make a creme anglaise, then
Yeah.
you add your melted chocolate, and then you fold in your whipped cream very soft so no air bubbles gets in it.
Yeah.
And you just base your bottoms.
Oh,
I'll just
very
do
good.
that
Yes.
quickly.
Keep Carl's fingers away from that. Okay.
So what is a creme anglaise?
A creme anglaise is an egg yolk, sugar, and a milk mixture, and you kind of thicken it up in a saucepan.
Sounds good to
Then
me.
you
Now,
add.
the egg will be the thickening agent. in
Yes,
that, yeah.
definitely. Now I usually cool off each layer before I put on the next
So is
layer.
there chocolate in each one of those layers, or
Oh,
what?
definitely. The first layer is a white chocolate.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is your milk chocolate.
Right.
Excuse me.
I can see that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go on to your very deep dark chocolate. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous texture
So I can
of a
see now the
chocolate.
3 colours and the 3 layers are going to come out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Then when you put them in the freezer and they pop out, you got your gorgeous 3 layers.
So you put them in the freezer until they're absolutely set then? Yeah.
It is set all together, and then you take them out about 10 or 15 minutes actually before. You just scrape off your tops to make it a nice smooth, because we do put them on cookies afterwards. But now we also take them and we serve them just as they are for gluten-free people.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
we have
that's a
a
good
big
idea.
demand for gluten-free, so we do cookies and we do muffins that are gluten-free. And then you
Waste
just take
not, want
these,
not. You're
waste-
transferring
I'm
all that
trying to get
extra
into that
stuff
one. I didn't
over
take
there.
enough
Yeah,
with
that's a
me.
good idea.
And then
So
we
what
take these and we put them in the freezer.
What is this mold? That's
Oh, this is a rubber mold. These are wonderful. You can put them, like I said, just in the freezer, and you
Yeah.
can bake with them.
So could I buy these somewhere, or
Definitely. Actually, we do get them from a company up away also.
okay? And you can bake with them.
Oh,
So
definitely.
they're
And there's
heat
all different
resistant.
kinds
They
of
are
molds.
heat resistant.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
So,
Nothing sticks.
so then this dessert, being a cold dessert, that would go in the refrigerator or freezer? The
At
freezer.
the moment, yeah, until it settles completely. Then you take it out of the freezer. And when you're finished garment, you can put it in your fridge.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright. So we just take this one, we put that one in the freezer,
Oh, so you've got some already
and
done.
here is
Ah.
ones. And when you pop them out,
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
they're
Isn't that nice?
perfect.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
You got your 3
Absolutely.
different layers. So then you take your
Yeah.
layers and we add our pate glaze.
Yeah.
It's just a nice creamy chocolate. And you pour over the top and you
at
make
that.
sure it's nice and even.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So anyone
Niagara
who's
Falls
chocolate
of
lovers,
chocolate.
definitely.
Yeah. Nice and glossy.
That
Look at
is
that.
nice.
Yeah.
And then
How long
once,
will it take for that to set?
oh, usually I take it and put it in cooler maybe for 5 minutes, and that will cool off.
Yep.
Then when I take it back out of the freezer, I have my white and my milk chocolate that we just garnish the top with, and you just go.
Oh, look at that.
Now it would settle a little faster if I had it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
but
this
it's
is the
doing
basic
very well
perfect
there,
salad,
yeah.
definitely. And then you do your.
But yeah, it is
different
holding
layers.
up really well, isn't it?
Oh, I do, because where it's frozen, and then
Yeah,
it holds
yeah.
up. And then you have your finished project. When you take it, and you put it on your
Okay.
cookie.
And this is the cookie you put
Oh,
it
this
on.
is the cookie. We'll take it from here, and it's a shortbread cookie,
Okay.
but it's a beautiful cookie. We bake that in our
Yeah.
bakeries also.
Okay.
We do lots
so
of shortbreads.
how do you get those so nice, so
Just
uniform?
cutters. I have a great baker that works with me.
Okay.
And she does all my shortbread. It's beautiful.
With real butter.
I can
It's
smell the
beautiful,
butter.
real butter.
I can smell
Definitely.
the butter.
Everything
Yeah.
is pure, and great tasting.
Okay, so now
Enjoy. Bon
we've got
appetit.
we've got to taste.
Absolutely. The 3 Amigos.
I love the name.
Beautiful dessert. Right, nice and creamy.
Absolutely Moorish.
Yes, definitely.
I have to go to Coffee
Really
Matters.
nice and rich.
So, what other kinds of things are you going to do with Sharon's Sweets?
We do.
All kinds of desserts and.
Definitely, we have a big selection of desserts. We also do gluten-free stuff,
Oh,
which has become a big demand.
demand.
So we
Big
do
demand for
birthday
that.
cakes and
Yeah.
muffins and cookies and
Great.
anything that you can think of.
You met the
put
big
together.
demand of the people.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thanks so much for being on the program,
thank you for
Sharon.
having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank
It's
you.
been great. And that's it, folks, for this edition of
One chef.
One Critic. Beautiful. I'm gonna have the strawberry.
Of course.
It's got chocolate on it again.
Oh,
right.
definitely the 3 different kinds of chocolate. We can't go wrong with chocolate.